like to get a phone and just audio record?
It's working now. It's working now. Make sure my notes are good.
All right, let's go 6-5.
Moving on to 6.5, discussion and possible direction to staff on policy improvements. This item is on the agenda at the request of a council member. It is meant to be a recurring topic on the agenda, and its purpose is so that council may address changes that may be needed to internal policies and processes during this time of limited staff.
I asked that this stay on the agenda, but I don't have anything for this meeting, for 6-4, or 6-5.
To put back on for September?
Correct. Unless anybody else does.
That's great.
Okay. 6.
Moving on to 6.6, or I guess nobody else has any? Okay, cool. Moving on to 6.6, discussion and possible direction to staff on capital improvements. This item is on the agenda at the request of a council member. This is meant to be a recurring topic on the agenda, and its purpose is so that council may address critical repairs and construction needs in the town during this time of limited staff.
A question on this topic, and would like to hear everybody's thought on it. Now that Parker Road is complete and the medians are now open, what's anybody's thought on doing tree lining the median, like they did, like especially like in the Saxe area down 78, around Saxe going down 78 toward George Bush? Any thoughts on that? Just in general, no real actions, just thoughts.
I don't know if we can legally do that.
I think we can.
We can.
We're on the property.
I mean, I know they restrict mailboxes because
Yeah.
of traffic hazard.
Yeah.
They did
And a tree isn't worse than a mailbox.
They did a nice improvement plan in Murphy when we had lived there years ago. They also had grass there, and they had been wanting to improve it a long time. It actually looks a lot nicer. It's along that Betsy Road area. They have all the trees now. They used to be all just grass for a very long time. But they put the budget to improve that. I think it looks nice.
They also put water and irrigation into that,
Yeah.
which we'd have to consider.
It's probably, I don't know how much they spent. I'm sure they spent some.
They had irrigation, it's gonna have considerable
Well, we
cost.
can, I mean, we can figure out how big the project needs to be. It's an interesting idea.
Absolutely. It might certainly be beautiful. I don't,
Yeah.
my only thought on that is I think we ought to wait for a year or so to stabilize that,
Yeah.
that median.
No, I
The
agree.
soil they put in there is garbage.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, just waiting for it to sink after a good couple of rains.
Right.
But my thought literally is going down 78 to George Bush a few times in the last couple of weeks. And when I was seeing the trees, I thought, Parker Road is really nice
Absolutely.
now. However, if we lined it with trees such as going through Saxe, then it would be very nice. I just wanted to get anybody's thought on that, what y'all's thoughts were on it.
I think it's worth pursuing in about a year or two, and just because of letting that foundation, that soil stabilize and figure out what's gonna happen with that sod they put in.
This was also on the agenda as a recurring item for you to be able to bring up any kind of needs that you see or RBL tells you about that we need to.
So we already have RBL going on some of the stuff from last meeting, right?
So I can use this as a segue to speak to, there is a road that will be coming across, will be undergoing repair. Some things that AVL has addressed that are higher priority than others. So you will see those before, or next month.
So we've made progress on the stuff we approved.
We have seen progress, no
Nothing
checks signed,
tangible.
but we are definitely, wheels are in motion, yes.
It's good. But to Mr. Johnson's point, this is a good opportunity for outside of that or any things that you wanted to bring up. I didn't mean to step on that.
Yeah, I'll definitely keep that in mind, and if anything comes to mind, I'll jot it down for next month. Just real quick though, on the medians, I do want y'all to keep in mind, I would love to have something nice there too, don't get me wrong, but that is where TxDOT is planning on extending Parker Road to 6 lanes, so
Right.
there is potential that anything we do could get undone.
That's right.
Yeah, but the discussion around that with TxDOT was, well, there's a number of things. It's the traffic flow. It depends on if Wiley is
Yes.
going to allow something to happen through their main street,
Right.
which the likelihood of that is far beyond remote. So 6 lanes going down to 2 lanes, one in each direction, is bizarrely insane to even contemplate. So and-
But you gotta keep in mind, there's not gonna be a bypass around White Lane.
Yes,
So
yes,
They still
at
be
Parker.
6 lanes getting to that point.
Yeah, Parker going off to the,
Right.
Park going to the right, yeah. But even at that, the entire median doesn't have to be populated from edge to edge. You can still do the trees down the middle of it.
Yeah.
So that if they widen it, because that's the other little part of this engineering aspect is it's 2 lanes right now, but it's really 2.5 lanes. So all they would take is approximately somewhere between 6 and 10 feet of the median away, so it would still be a rather large median still left. So,
Yeah, some trees would be great.
but that, I mean, that additional lane in each direction has to, it depends on a lot of things, plus it's state cost. And they have to have some kind of a compelling reason to spend tens of millions,
Yeah.
hundreds of millions to do it, and I just don't think they get the benefit out of it, honest to God.
It's a ways down the road, but it's a
Yes.
good point. Both are good points, but yeah.
It is a ways down the road. Also bringing me to that topic, now that Tucker Road is done, we do need to reevaluate our irrigation system here at Town Hall. They did have to cut some of the lines to expand the road, so it's mostly the outer portions towards the roads that may not be getting coverage.
And they didn't fix it?
I don't know what was agreed upon
They should have,
when that was originally started.
they sure should.
But it's definitely something we need to look into, figure out if we need additional zones, coverages anywhere. And then also, I know there's been discussion about potentially putting some kind of barrier to keep cars from coming off town.
Yeah, so the barrier will come down once, things are all open up, and then we can probably go out for bid for that, definitely, so the council should consider something like that. But,
I was gonna ask if there was any kind of a thought or a contemplation of a barrier in the curve.
Yes, I'm certainly open to it, I just don't want it to be looking like we wall off the town hall. If there's some, columns or whatnot that are to protect cars from coming through while it still looks open to the public, that would be great.
Yeah, I think there's absolutely
Maintaining the
ways that
field.
could do it, and that we could make it certainly pleasant to look at,
Right.
and not to be like, we're walling it off or any shape, form, or
You
fashion.
don't have to like a freeway.
Right.
Yeah.
Cattle fence.
Exactly, cattle fence. that
Mr.
would-
Mayor, are you still meeting with the
I am, got an email out, so I'll be able to touch on the sprinkler system
The
as soon as,
sprinkler, yeah.
But I think that shouldn't have to come through council, that one can just be
That's under normal maintenance.
Yeah. So, anybody else have anything else?
On this one, was this the one where we also could talk about, I think, were we going to connect with Wiley about the easement? Was that a discussion at one point, I thought?
Yes, so I have had my initial or preliminary discussion with Mayor Wiley.
Okay, awesome.
Can you give us an update next time?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
This time I was like, I don't have enough information to be able to
Yeah.
give you an
That's
update.
okay.
When is your tech stop meetings on Tuesdays?
It is on Tuesdays.
Is it
No, Wednesdays.
On Wednesday.
Mhm.
Is it every Wednesday?
Yes.
Yeah, so you'll have one this week.
Yeah.
Can you run it by them? I know that they say that they sweep, and I know that they say that they run the sweeper down. They need to run the sweeper down like 5 or 6 times, and slowly, not just, let me just zoom by and say we've swept. Tracy, I've talked to Tracy about it before with TxDOT,
Mhm.
and he knows, and they'll swing by with the sweeper, but there's nails, there's metal, there's when the brush when the road brush goes through, it slings off 8-inch metal, because their brush, the brush that's on the road brush is metal brushes, and it slings off these 8-10-inch long metal pieces everywhere. And I know 2 people that have gotten already flats. So I was asked, so I'm asking.
Noted. I will bring that up in my concerns.
They're almost through, so you know what I mean? It's just like, hit the curbs, drive along the curbs, you know, you don't have to do it 2 or 3 times. Even pull into people's driveways, you know, pick it up, back out, get, you know, you're almost through, guys. Now, make it look nice. Or at least start it off nice, so we have it, so it's a nice starting place.
Sure. Moving on to 6.7, discussion and possible direction to staff regarding the town secretary position. This item is on the agenda at the request of the council members, meant to be a recurring topic on the agenda, and its purpose is so that council may address staffing needs in the town during this time of limited staff.
You were going to go through resumes, yes, report back to council, some potential interviews.
Yes, so down to the last 3. So out of the first 100 applicants, we're down to the last 3 applicants. So I will be engaging town staff at that time for additional resources, because I need additional resources.
Okay.
There's only 24 hours in a day.
Any issues that you see in your role, in your interim role?
Just that I could use like 2 more of myself.
The hours are there.
Anything else for 6.7?
Anybody else? No? All righty, we're going to move along down to 6.8, discussion possible action regarding the drainage and grading study for DFW Connection Point Church as required by the SUP approved on 5/12/2025. So this evening, council will consider for approval a grading and drainage plan submitted by Spires Engineering for DFW Connection Point Church as required by the SUP approved on May 12, 2025. The study must be approved prior to the issuance of the building permits based on the recommendations of the town engineer. As a reminder, the SUP requires the church break ground on the project by December 2026.
So Abiel says we have no adverse comments and recommend approval. Is there any reason why we shouldn't approve this?
Let's open for discussion.
Our engineer suggests we're approving it.
Mr. Larry?
No. I don't have any concerns.
Mr. Pearson?
No,
Well, the only thing I did notice in this was the I guess it's a traffic study that is, the study doesn't show St. Paul alignment, St. Paul Road alignment where it is now.
Traffic's next one.
Yeah.
It's 6.9, we're on 6.8.
It's like appendix, oh, am I in the wrong
We're on
spot?
6.8, we're drainage and grading. I move to approve the grading and drainage plan submitted for DFW Connection Point Church by Spires Engineering based on the recommendation from the town engineer. I second.
All in favor?
Aye. All right, so on to the part that I thought we were talking about, sorry about that. The appendix C.
Can we let the mayor read it?
Thank you. Discussion and possible action regarding 6.9, the discussion and possible action regarding the traffic impact analysis for DFW Connection Point Church as required by the SUP.
All right, before we make motions, I'd like to talk about the traffic alignment on section C, appendix C for the trips. It does not show the alignment for St. Paul Road the way it is today, so it's showing things doing U-turns 50%, which I don't think are going to be there because the alignment for St. Paul Road is not there. Because one of those exits, I believe it's going to be aligned directly with St. Paul Road, I think, right?
Yeah, that is correct. So can I?
Please.
So this study and our textile permit is approved for all the driveways proposed. So they took no comment to any of this. So we do have one of our main driveways is aligned with St. Paul Road with the light.
Is there going to be a light in your on your side?
On our side, no.
So
There's
That's
a,
it. So if there's not going to be a light, that's a huge problem.
so if somebody's going left,
there's a right turn only. Yeah, they restricted us to only go right.
We have a sign, right turn lane
for
sign.
both.
No, correct, for both.
For both,
Because
okay.
one was a full median opening, but we can
So
only
even
go
though your
right.
road lines up to St. Paul Road, you can't turn left coming out of your property.
That is correct.
That's
You can
not,
go-
you know that's
That's
not going to
right.
happen.
Well, there's
That's-
a median blocking,
Yeah.
and,
Yeah, they've got a little concrete thing that's supposed to divert it to to the right.
It's like a little triangle.
Was that the solution that was, that
Yeah,
is the
that's-
only solution because the refusal, or because the option was for a light to go there, or the recommendation was
There
for a
was no
light?
option for us to get a light. If we were to, when we approached them, it would have been 18 months before we could have gotten a light there.
Well, the driveway was already existing and they designed the signal. And we had Tracy, Mo, and all of the main textile people. This was the proposed solution by them, and Jennifer Forster, so.
There's a little concrete diversion that's in the plans that says you can't go left.
That's gonna be a mess. Is
And that's-
that something you bring up with TxDOT as well? Because this is, you
Yeah.
know, really
It
kind of
is,
a mess.
I would,
And it wouldn't be that big a deal, let me say this, if I may, if it wasn't that much of a traveled road. That St. Paul Road is a very highly traveled road, and so I can see that being just a mess.
Yes, absolutely.
you can hold off until I can get further clarification. I heed with caution because they, you know, again, December 2026, that's the deadline that the town imposed on them to break ground.
Are y'all pursuing that for a future change?
I mean,
You're on
sorry,
target,
say
right?
that again?
Are you-
We're
are you-
hoping to break ground next month.
Yeah, I'm just wondering, in the future, are you pursuing to have a light on your side where you could go left?
Right now, we haven't thought past phase one, which, I mean, keep in mind, we're a 100-people church, and so for us.
Yeah, I'm not suggesting we like postpone this or anything. I'm just,
Yeah, like,
I'm just curious as far as long
so
term.
yes, it would be nice, but
Okay.
it's,
Because they did it for the Montessori school down here, why in the world couldn't they do it for these guys?
Exactly. Exactly.
Because it existed
But-
before.
So, I mean, you would like
There's a lot of
us
lights.
Oh, I would love
to
one.
push
Oh,
that?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
If I can explain what happened, our driveway was there and they designed the signal for a three-way intersection. And we came back and pointed that out to them, actually.
Let's just make sure the owner of the property wants to do what we're saying.
Because
Yeah,
it is,
yeah,
it
we
is
would be
a
in
cost
favor
that
of
they
that.
would incur, not anybody else.
Yeah, but we were under the assumption that they were designing because the driveway was already there.
Yeah.
Well, the driveway was moved while they were designing it, and so now TxDOT, we found out they were putting the poles up, and we said, hey, where's our light? And they kind of said, well, it wasn't in the design. And so we basically determined that this write-out only was, they said it was acceptable to us, or we agreed to it, because we just, we want to move forward with the project. However, we would love, if the town supports that, we would love.
Well, yeah, so no wonder it says, so the 50% U-turns is gonna be right, you're gonna have a bunch of people doing U-turns.
So, I mean, right now, our engineer doesn't have an issue with this and says, would endorse approving it, so, that's fine, but I think we ought to, as a town and as a property owner, push TxDOT to make that change for safety reasons. But I don't want to penalize the church on not being able to get their project going because of TxDOT.
I don't see a reason why the church should be penalized for their property running. There's nothing, I wouldn't see anything in these plans that should preclude them from beginning, and even where their driveway in existence is, because the stoplights that would go onto Parker Road or at St. Paul Road they could be secondary. There is many roads around that are completely already built and have stoplights put up after the fact. And so, I don't know if we're saying the same thing, but
Yeah, so, I mean, I'd like to move to approve the traffic impact analysis submitted for DFW Connection Point Church plus Bears Engineering based on the recommendations from the town engineer.
Do I have a second motion?
I'll second it.
Second, as long as we do engage with TxDOT on this being an issue.
And then I would suggest that we, as a separate issue, address that with TxDOT in partnership with the property owner.
Pastor Joel, I'll reach out to you.
Okay.
So who was my second, because I
I'm
have,
second.
okay. All in favor? Any opposed? All right, motion passes. Moving on to executive session, Texas Government Code 55.
You don't have to go to it,
Yeah.
that's just
Oh,
there.
yes, that's right.
That's just there in case y'all needed it.
Is there any reason why anybody would like to go to executive session? Okay, I'm going to move on to item number 8, discussion about 8.1, discussion about future meeting agenda items. Anybody have any topic? Mr. Now?
The one I sent last month that did get added.
Yes, sir. That one is going to be, is that our answer for, yep, for the 14th? So, Mr.
And
Dryden?
then, sorry,
Yeah,
the
yeah,
other one was adding the item about the newspapers in the
And the
yard.
ordinance.
Yes, yes.
The ordinance.
The ordinance for newspapers for, what do you call it?
For the ordinance to restrict the newspapers, the one we refer to P and Z.
Oh, the unsolicited?
Yes,
Unsolicited
that's
materials.
the word I was looking for.
You want that back on the agenda?
Well, we have to
I mean,
make the motion to send it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then,
I don't think we did. I think David, I can review that meeting, but Mr. Overcash was here, and I'm pretty sure he said that y'all did not have to make a motion to do that,
To do what?
to send it to P and Z. I can review the recording,
Okay.
because I'm pretty
So-
sure that's why we did it that way, because he was here.
if it doesn't require, we'll push it on.
Amen.
Okay.
Sorry, Mr. Dryden.
Yeah, so we had a citizen, I think it was last meeting, that asked why we just listen to public comments and don't talk about it. And I think it would be good as mayor in your comments if you would let them know that we are unable to talk about things that are not agenda items. Just as a reminder, because they did not know that, and they were assuming that we're just ignoring their comments and just not even paying attention, because we wouldn't comment back or discuss it. So
We will put that in
I
the
just thought
budget.
it would bring some clarity to public comments and what we can and can't do as a council.
I like that.
Okay. Thought it was already in there. Okay. Cool. All righty, Mr. Pearson?
No, sir.
Sorry, what are we doing right now?
Future items.
Future items,
Oh,
any
no
future
future
agenda
items,
items?
no.
Okay.
I'm good.
All righty, at this time, we're going to move on to 8.2, regular council meeting. Do I have a motion for adjournment?
A motion that we adjourn the regular meeting.
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
None opposed. Motion passes.
Adjourned at 8:20.
Time is 8:20.
Thank you. Do you want to go straight to BOA?
Uh-huh.
Leave it running.
All righty, let's see, the time is now 8:20. We're going to go ahead and do a roll call for the Board of Adjustments meeting. Mr. Nail?
Present.
Mr. Dryden?
Here.
Greg? Sorry.
Here?
Mrs. Bewley?
Here.
Mr. Simmons?
Here.
All right, we have a quorum. Would you like to do the Pledge of Allegiance again, or we're just going to say we counted it already? I'm going to move on to number 3, the announcements. Town of St. Paul is currently seeking town secretary. Please visit the St. Paul, Texas.
Go to the BOA.
Yeah. Go to the BOA.
Second page.
Sorry.
Like a newscaster, you can put anything in front of you.
Did I just close the wrong one?
What is that, Burgundy?
Yeah, Ron Burgundy.
Ron Burgundy.
Oh, there it is, okay, my apologies.
2.1, consideration and approval of the minutes from the BOA meeting held on July 13th, 2026.
Like how I did that?
I'm helping you out there, brother.
That was a,
Move to approve the minutes of the Board of Adjustments meeting held on July 13th, 2026.
a second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Except with the members absent,
Okay.
being Robert Simmons.
True lady, seconded, you gotta
Sorry.
withdraw.
One quick, it says was I there? It says members absent. I think I was not there, but it doesn't say I'm absent.
No, you were there. Remember I called you and we had this conversation? Because I was confused, because the way I had written it down was I had written down that you were absent. I was like, no, she was there.
Oh, so then you need to add me then, members present,
Was
right?
it?
So we're talking about Board of Adjustments, right?
Yeah.
I was absent for that.
Oh, you were absent, okay.
I was not absent for the
motion has been
executive
made
session.
and seconded.
Yes, I was not absent for the executive session, but I was
But
absent.
you was absent for.
Motion was
Okay.
made and
So do we
seconded.
need to,
So for the minutes, I think you need to add my name because I was present. I don't see
Okay.
I was there,
okay.
but I wasn't.
With that condition, all in favor?
Yeah.
Aye.
None opposed?
A second.
All right. Moving on,
So 3.1, there was just one sign that was still left off.
Correct.
So
Technically,
I
you
don't
have to
want you
open the
read
public
it.
hearing
We have
first.
to open the public hearing.
yeah, gotta open it up. Conduct a public hearing regarding variance request for Cub Car Wash that was approved on 5/11/2026 meeting, but an admin error was made in the number of signs needing an approval. This hearing is to consider allowing one additional sign to the property. Wish to speak?
I'll make a motion that we,
Not yet.
Hold on. Do you have any comments?
Any comments?
Okay.
All right. Public comments, public hearing is now closed. I'm going to do a, well, hold on.
Go through
Nope,
that
you
too.
got.
I got a second one, so
Sorry.
there's also a 3.2 is conduct a public hearing on a request for a variance submitted by the town, the Coventry Reserve seeking relief, Article 3.05004 for permanent signs, which states temporary signs are allowable for 120 days per year. The only one sign per building is allowed to be mounted permanently.
Any public comments?
I'm Darrell Blakey, and I represent Coventry. The reason that we're asking for a variance on that is because with the road construction stuff, we've not been able to, this is on the property of at 2010, which is Power to Move. It's a sister organization to Coventry. And they serve a public, a community that have spinal injuries and wheelchairs. And the road is not sufficient into that property or drive. We intend to rebuild that. So we really don't have a location to build the sign, the permanent sign at this time until we get that road rebuilt. They have school buses, they serve the Wiley School District, and then they have people that are in chairs that come in with adaptive driving equipment on the cars. So we've got to rebuild the road for them to accommodate them adequately. So that's really the holdup. Otherwise, we would already be going for a permit for the permanent sign.
When do you think you'll be able to do the driveway?
We're working on funding for it, but, probably 4, 5, 6 months. And we're gonna have to get a permit from TxDOT because the entrance to the drive was not, we tried to talk to them about widening that at the time, but they wouldn't change that, or they weren't able to do that. But we're gonna need to widen the entrance. Only got a 9-foot wide apron coming into the property. So, and there's a big drainage that goes across there and goes under, so doing the drive is going to be quite expensive. There's major water coming under Parker Road and coming across there and goes under that driveway.
so the request is for, it's just for an extension of the temporary signs?
That and a waiving of the fees, simply because it's a nonprofit and they don't have really the funds.
I guess that's 4.2. Yeah, I guess we should discuss at this point.
Yeah,
All right, thank you.
Yeah, sorry. I've got to close the public hearing before we
Okay.
discuss.
Sorry.
Okay. Thank you.
Do
This time,
do we motion to close the public hearing? Seems like we have in the past.
I have to close it.
You have to close it?
Yeah.
Okay.
So at this time, I'm going to, if there's no other comments, I'm going to close the public hearing. We're going to move on to regular agenda 4.1, discussion of possible action regarding correction to a variance approval for Club Car Wash from the May 11, 2026 meeting from 13 to 14 signs needed.
I'll make a motion that we allow for the variance for the 13 to 14 signs.
Okay. Do I just?
No, that's it.
Yeah.
This was just administrative, we just missed that one.
Yes. I just did.
I'll second.
All right.
Thank you.
All in favor?
Aye.
Yeah, we went over all those signs and where they were placing
I
them.
remember that, I just didn't understand why we're seeing it then. Thanks.
4.2.
And here, sorry, did anybody else have something, a question?
No, discussion of possible action regarding a variance for the Coventry Reserve seeking relief from Article 3.05004 permitted sign, which states temporary signs are allowable from 120 days per year. So, and only one sign per building is allowed to be mounted permanently. This request regarding the signs at the location 2010 Parker Road, aka Power to Move. They're also seeking relief from the required application fees that accompany the sign and variance applications.
This is for a business, right?
Correct. Power to
But
Move.
but is that land a business or a residence?
Are you talking commercial land?
Yeah.
It's a nonprofit.
So, believe it is zone type F. Well, no, because that would be church use. I'm not entirely certain.
I mean, I know the church, I know Coventry is zoned as a church.
Do you happen to know how your property is zoned?
Actually, the
Not the
Coventry
class-
is zoned as a school.
Okay. But the point being is, I understand that Coventry makes sense. I'm not sure about this property. I think this property is supposed to be a residence.
Well, that property is owned by Coventry. We purchased that property.
I'm not asking who owns it. I'm saying that it's not zoned to be a business.
I can provide some clarity.
Okay.
Please.
Yes.
So this is where the map is going to come in handy.
Okay.
I'm not going to get into it too much, but Power to Move is one of those, is it or isn't it,
Okay.
in the town.
Okay.
And so it has been treated as ETJ for a number of years. And so that's why there is I
Oh,
guess you could call it, it's not really a business, like he said, it's a not-for-profit, but it's not being used as a residence.
is the Coventry facility, the building itself, in the city of St. Paul, in the town of St. Paul, or is it in the county?
The
The house,
Coventry. Go ahead.
there's two structures on that property. One is an 80 by 40 that's been turned into a gym for adaptive fitness for these participants. The other was a residential house that's being used for respite for Coventry weekends, for Coventry participants that go to the Coventry Day Program.
Yeah, so like I've talked about before, when we sit before you as the zoning and board, what is it, the BOA?
Board of Adjustment.
Board of Adjustments, the zoning board of adjustments. We're not sitting as the town council, we're sitting as a quasi judicious body that's supposed to be looking into whether or not we're supposed to allow for this variance to be granted. And so the first thing that we need to do, I think, as a body is figure out what is this property zoned as, and it sounds like it's in limbo at best.
It's
At
really-
best, it's in limbo.
Yeah, it's really, there's some concerns with where the property lines are.
Right.
But I do want you all to keep in mind this is for signage, which is something we can control also in the ETJ.
Right.
And the sign is not lit, is that correct? The temporary sign is not
It's
lit?
not lit.
And having a sign would be public safety for people to know what's there, or
Right.
if that's the driveway?
So let me tell you what exactly they're asking for. So they want to keep their temporary sign out for a period of longer than 120 days. So we would ideally need
The sign that's there now?
the sign that's there now.
Okay.
They also want a second building-mounted sign on the Power to Move building. There is currently a sign on the front and a sign on the side, and they are seeking permission to keep that second sign up. So there's multiple parts. They're also seeking relief from all of the application fees associated with said sign permits and for their variance application. They did pay the fee for the application, and they are seeking relief, which would require us to reimburse the fee.
And as I recall, the sign ordinance does not allow for variance for temporary sign dates. And it's also not like a variance for zoning or for
Correct.
adding on a house. It's not about hardship, it's about making sure we're doing what the ordinance allows for. I don't believe it even allows for a variance. for
There's just a copy of the sign ordinance that you can take a look for me. It's the very last paragraph of the sign ordinance.
On what page?
Okay, they just signed it with me.
The very last page.
It's the very last page.
So the entire sign ordinance is in here?
Yes.
So I think I see it in the back. Building right here.
305.
Temporary signs, there we go, yeah,
Mhm.
page 3 of 7, I think, temporary signs.
What was that, Mr. Dryden?
It's very last page.
Very last page, 3.05.
I don't see anything in here that says that it can't be for a temporary sign.
Well, I don't think that's the entire sign ordinance, so I'm trying to go to the, I believe really the sign ordinance is, I was one of the authors. I don't think it allows for variance for this. So you believe this is the entire sign ordinance in the back here?
Yes, I printed it directly from the code, but I have reviewed it versus the physical copy of the ordinance, and they are the same.
I do see hardship language, isn't it, 3.05.01A? So we have the authority to grant variances from the provisions of this article with respect to on-premise signs only when said court has made a specific finding from the evidence presented that the compliance with the provisions of the article result in a substantial financial hardship or inequity for the applicant.
So this was, a couple months ago, we were going to look at this, and I had my notes better together then, but I do remember there being something about not allowing for variances on temporary signs.
So it does say, in no event shall such authority permit a variance, including permitting a sign which is an unlawful sign under section 3.
The previous one was a request for a lit temporary sign.
Okay.
And that was the difference, is that they wanted the big arrow with all the
Okay.
lights and the flashing.
Gotcha.
That was the difference. That was,
Although it
I
does say,
think this is a conforming sign, a conforming temporary sign versus what was
Yes.
requested before was a non-conforming temporary
but
sign.
it does also say nor permitting a commercial sign in a residential zone other than is permitted by this article. So there is an aspect of what is it zoned as.
Well, yeah, and I think there's a question about whether so here's the thing. The signs are going to go in the town of St. Paul
Right.
proper. The buildings themselves
One of the
under
buildings is
argument.
not in the property.
Or fall outside of
Outside
it.
of St.
Yeah, that's
Potentially.
St. Paul. So the building that falls outside of St. Paul, is that the building that you're requesting the sign variance for?
Correct.
Okay.
If the building falls outside of the town of St. Paul, then this shouldn't even, I don't know if we should even be,
No, we can.
It's
We can't.
ETJ,
It's
we
ETJ,
have
we can't.
authority
Even
for
if
other
it's
signs.
ETJ,
Yeah. They've taken away everything else, Greg. Don't take that away too.
I didn't want to give it away.
I mean, that is true.
I just wanted to throw it out there, is it even our
I
call
know, it's really
to restrict
confusing.
And
it?
it's not like it's a power thing, it's just that, again, this is planning for the future, you know, for a situation, whether or not the property is in the ETJ, we can control the signs on it.
Okay, all right.
So both the temporary sign and the permanent building mounted sign, both conform to the ordinances. It's just getting permission to have, because we only allow one building mounted sign, so they would need permission for two. And then they would need, and then I don't know if y'all want to set a timeline for the temporary sign.
And the fees, right, so the fees would, they wouldn't have had to have the additional fees if it wasn't because we had to,
Right.
we delayed them.
The fees aren't a big deal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Isn't there a monthly fee or something? Cost something?
Yes, temporary signs are $75 a month for the permit.
So we're requesting that as well to be
Yeah,
discontinued.
Is, and is the claim because this is a hardship due to the fact that TxDOT didn't widen their drive approach, so they're having to widen the driveway, but they're having to create funding because they're a nonprofit? And this is all sort of stemming that,
This really,
before we wouldn't have had this issue, except for the fact that TxDOT did a 9-foot driveway as opposed to a commercial driveway.
I think those are two separate things, Greg. This
Well-
temporary sign request is not because of anything TxDOT.
I thought that was the reason they were doing the sign.
They're going to be requesting a permanent sign when TxDOT finishes, but that's a whole other issue. This is a
Oh.
temporary
This is for
sign that they have currently that they're wanting to extend. It has nothing to do with TxDOT.
Oh, I misunderstood, I'm sorry. I thought that the temporary sign was only going to be temporary because they didn't want to put in a permanent because of the,
When they
Like-
fix their driveway issue, he said they're going to request a permanent sign, which will be a second sign. That's going to come back to us.
I'll come back to
Right now, it's just a temporary sign that they're wanting to extend.
But you make
It
sure
has
that
nothing to do
you
with
make,
TxDOT.
you make motions, right, with those contingencies that it gets re-reviewed, you can't do that.
here's my other question, is if you know where your driveway is and you know what the widening is going to be for it, what is the preclusion of going ahead and putting up a permanent
I
sign?
think they're gonna work on their.
There is a
road.
permanent sign.
They're
We're
working on
talking
their
about a
road.
second sign.
So the Parker Road is finished. He's talking about, so are you you're gonna be working on the road that you have on your property, right?
That is correct, but the road
That's what
rolls
we-
off pretty steeply on both sides, so it's
But
not like we can
let me ask
put
you
it-
this, is there any further construction happening on Parker Road for you?
No.
Okay, thank you.
And there already is a permanent sign. This is going to be a second permanent sign, which they'll have to get approval for.
We'll have to go back.
So
to
it's
Greg.
coming back to us. No?
No, so that will, I mean, I guess it depends on what the kind of sign they apply for ultimately, but a sign that's gonna be at the front drive of the property is gonna be like a monument style sign,
Yeah.
which they can have in addition to a building mounted
But there
sign.
already is a
There
monument
is a
sign.
monument for Coventry there. on that
That's for
property.
Coventry,
It's a
this is for
separate
Power
property.
Remove.
It's the same
Are they
property.
going to be one, or are they going to be
They're
two
properties.
separate ones?
Coventry is on
Oh,
2004.
It is two separate
Separate
properties.
Yes, the
Okay,
Coventry
okay,
is
well, that's good,
separate.
that's good.
Is it
Yeah,
two
I'm sorry
driveways?
guys, I know it's
It
confusing.
is, so yes, so
So,
I think this
is the sign,
it's not this.
is this variance requesting that sign be a monument sign, so it'll be one sign with two distinct business names on it, or are we talking about two separate signs altogether?
The permanent sign will be one sign with one name on
Just for power.
It is,
power to move.
but Power to Move, sir, Power to Move is gonna be operated separate from Coventry. I understand it's owned by it, but you're gonna work those two properties
it. It's
separately.
actually a separate nonprofit, but they lease that building from Coventry.
Right, but you're gonna operate those two different buildings, if you will, or two different properties,
Right.
kind of separate from each other.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
yes.
So the sign that you're talking about is not going to be with or in the same location as the Coventry sign. It's going to be on the property that's further to the south,
To the north.
north, okay,
Ah.
north.
Okay.
Got it.
So it's that,
I guess it's north.
okay. So it's a separate driveway altogether.
Yeah, I tried to put in a visual, but I guess it didn't.
So it's a separate driveway, a separate sign?
Yeah, it's all separate.
Yeah, all separate.
And it used to be, so I believe it used to be a residence, right?
It is,
Yeah.
yes.
So all the signs are for Power to Move, so they want two building mounted signs, eventually one permanent monument sign, but for now it's a temporary sign.
Okay, so the question I believe Mr. Pearson just asked is there a reason we can't put the monument sign up now?
Are you asking me
Yes, sir.
the reason?
Yeah, is there a reason you can't put the monument sign up now, the permanent sign?
It's because the drive is not sufficient. It's gonna, the drive's gonna have to be widened and the embankment enough where we can put the permanent signs
So the
on.
embankment work is the issue.
That's correct.
That's what he let in with. I think it was a little confusing because we
Well,
must
we had
have felt like.
Properties mixed up.
Oh, yeah, properties mixed up, and I guess there was some
Yep.
mixing up about needing to complete Parker Road. It's not a completion of Parker Road, it's a completion of your personal, or not personal, with your entity's driveway into
That's-
your property.
that's correct. I would say the second building sign mounted is not, would not be, we wouldn't particularly need that after we get the monument sign.
So that's a temporary as well?
Yes.
And why do you, so there's not a road over there, why do you need a second sign on the building?
Well, there's two properties that use that driveway, and so it needs to be on the front of the building so the people coming in will know where they're supposed to go.
And so why does there need to be one on the other side of the building? If you have one on the front, why do you need one on the other side?
Well, we had problems during the construction of the highway, is people not being able to see or know how to get in there, because the drive is so narrow that they would miss it. So they put a sign on the north side of the building to help accommodate visibility.
Because when I drive by there, I can only see the part of the building that's facing the west, right? If you're driving on, if I'm thinking of the right building up in.
If you're going north on Parker, when you come up on 2010, if you look, you can see the sign on the north side of the building.
But the north side of the building is not facing Parker,
No.
so how can you see that sign? I mean, I've driven by it many, many times. I've looked at it, being curious what's going on there, because of businesses popping up without a permit. And I believe I'm looking at the west side of the building when I drive by Parker going north. In fact, I would think I would have to be looking at the west side of the building. I don't see how there's any possibility of seeing the north side.
The north side is very visible on the road.
Okay.
Now, there's a lot of trees been moved and stuff there.
Just to be straight, this is north, right? That's south. And so
When you're driving south, you can see it.
okay. All right. Yeah, I'm not sure I see why you need to have two signs on the building, but, okay.
And
Is there a hardship that, I mean, it sounds
I
like.
think for safety, and as long as it's conforming, because before we've had to deny non-conforming with the lighting and stuff on temporary stuff.
Are they temporary? So they are temporary? Or which one's not?
So I guess that's what we really need the firm clarity, is that second sign going to come off the building?
That's what I just heard as well. I just heard
Right.
that second sign is not a permanent sign. It's also a temporary sign.
Right.
And so its temporary status would also fall in line with the temporary status of the street signs. So when the permanent sign at the street goes up, then the second sign on the building would be all disengaged. It would come down along with the temporary sign at the road. That is for the power to move property.
That is right.
So Coventry, the only question with that is leave the temporary sign in place for an additional 120 days until a monument.
It has nothing to do with Coventry. It's just power to move.
It's all these signs are for power to move.
All right, okay, I apologize. I thought that one was in play too.
No.
No.
Okay, all right.
No, that's just the entity that owns power to move. The owning entity is the Coventry.
Okay,
Reserve.
okay.
For
Yeah.
traffic and for stuff, I mean, I would support extending it.
Oh, yeah, I'll make the motion.
With no fees.
No fees?
Waive the fees.
Well, we didn't talk about the fees though, really. So it's,
Well, we can put
So it's
it,
75 a month.
we could make it for 6 months.
So they've already paid me $75 once and $150 once for the variance application. So
That sign's
I
been up
need
there for more than 1
specific
month.
clarification if we can refund that as well.
So,
I guess if it's, do we typically not, like if someone's a nonprofit, do we typically not waive fees? Or is that like our standard? Or
It's to council's discretion.
because I feel like there
Well,
should be a
it's-
standard.
Yeah, we're not the council, so
Yeah,
that's
right,
part of the
yeah.
problem with
Yeah,
this, is
sorry.
that we really, I don't know if the Board of Adjustment can actually waive fees. I don't know that we even have that ability.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think the council does, but we are not the council.
The council would have the governing authority over a policy change,
okay.
or
So,
temporary, or specific policy.
So we could approve the sign, not approve the fee waiver, and
push that to council.
Push that to council, to vote.
Okay.
Okay.
In
I would support that.
Yeah, in the motion, just make sure that you iterate that in the motion.
All right, and I'll make a motion.
Hold on, sorry.
Oh, go ahead.
Here's the other
Sorry.
part is, I mean, you're saying 5 to 6 months. How confident are you in that number? 5 to 6 months for
For
this
funding.
to be done?
The road, the drive reconstruction's gonna be 50 grand. So we're gonna have to get the funds together to get that done.
Are you going to be regrading the area and, so regrading and bringing in dirt? Are you changing, is that currently an easement with drainage through it?
Yes.
Okay, that's going to change
That's
things.
going to change things.
Okay, so these are things that, we have to be fully transparent.
I understand.
We
It's a
should
major
be ready to say yea or nay based on what's presented.
So, in regards to this, I would make a motion that we approve the adjustment to 2 additional temporary signs of 120 days, both of which should be scheduled to come down at the end of 120 days, pending a new sign, or the permanent sign is built. And secondly, that we schedule for the council to consider adjustments to the fees for temporary signs.
And the only thing I mean, this is the part that I was trying to find, is in the variances, it says we cannot grant variances for commercial signs in a residential zone, and that's the part that's in limbo. We don't know. what the
Yeah,
answer
can we
is on
have
that.
it be pending, we confirm that that's,
We
we've
will
confirmed
not
so.
be able to.
Oh, we can't.
There's not gonna be, we're not gonna be able to confirm that.
Yeah.
That is another project that is in process that is not anywhere near where we're going to be able to make that call yet.
Yeah,
We've been going under the premise that it's not residential.
And I'm going under the premise that this is a commercial venture, it's operating as a nonprofit commercial business.
So it's okay for your neighbor to start a nonprofit, put a bunch of
Absolutely.
signs up?
No, I'm not advocating it, it's just currently an operating.
We're not putting signs up, we're extending signs that have already been approved.
It's okay for us to do that? I don't agree with that. I think if my neighbor has a 16-foot sign that they have put up at their house, it's a residence, they shouldn't be allowed to leave it up.
So why is it that we can't figure out the zoning? Why is that?
It's a whole map
No mapping issue.
Oh,
issue
so it's-
there's mapping discrepancies or,
with the third party.
How long is that going, is that a long tail on that?
we do not have an ETA at this
It's a
time.
bigger project.
But the council has approved legal counsel for an RFQ.
To engage with a third party to address our maps. So is that motion, that was
Yeah,
motion
so
made?
so there was a motion made with,
Yeah, the motion's made, so,
so the motion that's there is to approve 2 temporary signs of 120 days
Not to extend.
to extend
extend.
the 2 temporary signs to 120 days, and after 120 days, they gotta come down with the new permanent signs being built.
Correct.
Would we start that counting tomorrow?
And that would commence as of, what's today's date?
24th.
Commence as of August 25th.
Do we have a second?
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
I'm having a little hard time.
And,
with this
Any opposed?
Nay,
one. I oppose, I have a hard time with this one, not knowing what it
Break
is.
the tie.
So it does.
there's not a tie. Once you have 2, that's it, it's done. Because
Is
they
it?
have to have a supermajority.
Even with the mayor?
He's not the mayor, but
I'm
even
not
with
the
him,
mayor,
it has to be a
this-
supermajority, which would be,
I don't know if I have a vote.
So you don't have any authority here?
I don't think I have.
you
it.
do,
So-
you can
I
vote.
do?
Yeah, you do. But it has to, but once you have 2 nays, it's over.
Oh,
Because it's not super. Okay,
Right, well, then that would be denied.
motion denied.
Well, no, it's not denied. You have to actively deny it.
Okay,
That's one of the things we've learned with over the years of doing this, is you have to have an active motion that has to pass.
okay. Oh, that's correct. Okay, I understand what you're saying. Okay, so that motion did not pass.
Okay.
Do I have any other motions?
If we don't do anything,
Then it's denied.
then
Then
it's
it's automatically
then it's automatically,
Yeah.
and then the current sign permit expires and the signs come down.
All right. So I don't know that we have enough, I'll motion that we deny. I can motion that we deny the variance request.
Okay, do I have a second?
Well, is that going to get overridden?
We're gonna.
Oh,
It's going to be a stalemate, I think.
All in favor?
I'm gonna say nay.
Okay. Nine. Okay.
And the reason why, it's not because of safety, I think I agree with the safety issue of having a sign. I just don't know if we can actually prove it. The language here is my concern of the,
So,
Yes.
may I suggest
But
that we
it
do
doesn't
a
matter
little
once
bit
there's
more
2.
research?
Yeah.
I think
Bring it
so.
back
So at this
next month.
point, it's a moot point,
I think.
right, so then
It
it's
seems
just,
like, I'm trying to remember, this is why it's nice to have council here with you.
Yeah,
It seems
super-
like,
supermajority is for.
it seems like you have to have a supermajority to be for, you don't have to have a supermajority to deny. That's what I remember. So you can have just a plurality to deny it, but you have to have a supermajority to
approve.
it.
Which 4 out of 6 is not super.
I forget the percentage that's
It's
required.
75.
it's,
75%.
75% of the board has to hear an item to vote on it, but I don't know if that's
They
the
don't have
same.
the-
It's the same for the
It's the
approval,
same.
and if the board is, if any of the members are absent, they're counted as a nay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so 4 out of 6 won't do it.
so at this point, then,
So it's just the
Nothing happens.
request. the
So did we have
request is
enough
not-
votes to deny? We didn't have like a plurality, because it doesn't have to be a supermajority to deny.
we didn't have.
We don't
enough
need it.
votes.
but I like the the idea of maybe we could research this a little bit more.
Yeah, I think we need a
We
little
can
bit more research on this.
Table the discussion.
You could table.
We can table this and revisit it, and
That's a motion.
the
That's gonna
zone,
be a motion.
right, so that could be a motion where you revisit this, you can give yourself ample time. So, you know, your next meeting, would you could potentially have your next meeting.
September 14th.
September 14th.
Then we could, well, so we could make a motion
Us versus.
to table this temporary sign issue until we have legal counsel give us suggested options for the permitting of this property that's functioning under a commercial exception currently. And I guess part of that motion would be I would direct the mayor to seek the legal counsel.
Well, I want to clarify, Kristen, your concern was something in the language.
Yeah, and the variance, I was.
So is that, would this motion accomplish meeting Kristen's?
And that's what I was
It
trying
could
to.
be, because
review.
maybe there's something else in the article that maybe we're not seeing right now that allows us to do this. I guess my concern is over the language that says, not permitting a commercial sign in a residential zone. And if it's residential, then I think we're permitting it.
I mean,
That's my concern.
does this give Alex and our mayor the ability, what they need to then ask council? So
Yeah, I think legal review is
So that we can-
sufficient.
So that we can put this
Yeah.
on next month's agenda and address it again?
I don't think we need more here.
I mean, there's several questions that came up, you know, so as long as those get answered, I suppose.
And it's got all your concerns recorded.
I've got the motion to table until legal counsel can be sought regarding the zoning and the wording of the restriction that you're seeing.
Yeah, I was trying to encompass
Yeah.
her concern too with the commercial versus residential.
Yep.
Just
We
with
will
the,
not be able to get that one addressed, I assure you.
I know, but, I mean, well, I was hoping David might give us some kind of
I mean, some kind of opinion.
an opinion saying, because this is commercial operation, it's currently actively operating in this zoned area.
It's been acting non-residential for
Oh,
some time.
yes, sir, yeah, I don't disagree.
Doesn't
I'm
mean it's
just,
been doing it properly.
No, I understand, we're asking our attorney to make a determination on something.
That we don't have.
Map and-
needs to
and-
be
He will say
their
we,
determination.
but
Well,
I'm not gonna speak for him, but.
I mean, at least let him give us his
Some direction.
opinion that, you know, that might make everybody more comfortable with
Yeah.
it.
Is that the only thing we want to ask him?
That was the only my thing.
Yeah, I mean, I need to, I guess the only other one I don't understand is why, because usually when a property, when they're asking for signs on both sides of the building or multiple sides of the building, it's because you have roads on both sides of the building. We don't have roads on all the sides of these buildings. I don't understand why you need extra signs on, you know, two different sides of the building.
That's not a legal question, then.
Well, that would be an SUP, that's a good, right, so that would require an SUP to have an additional signage that's,
Okay.
but yeah, so you're still in the ZBA?
Yeah, okay. Right,
So,
thanks.
so you would have to, so in your motion, you would, because nobody's accepted your motion, you can word your motion and with Alex kind of guiding you as a refresher.
Yeah.
So, right, you can table it for September 14th, and bring it back with legal counsel, addressing all the council's concerns, and that should be sufficient.
Okay, all right, that's fine. Can we just amend my motion?
Yeah, if you want to say it again for the record.
Okay, then I make a motion to table the variance from the allowable time of temporary sign placement until September 14th. At that time, seek legal counsel's recommendations and/or advice on the suggested wording of commercial property sign placement at this current operating facility. and supply council with suggested course of action.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
All in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries.
Make a motion that we adjourn.
This, do we have a second for the motion?
I'll second that.
Second.
Everybody seconds.
Who wants to take the
I'm
second?
gonna put Robert down for
Who
that.
wants to take the second?
I'll take it.
All right, Mr. Simmons is second. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you, Mr. Blakey.
We adjourn.
You finally got to use that.
I did, but it was silence.